Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 28th day of July 2020. It's National Milk Chocolate Day. We are 98 days, exactly 14 weeks from today, from the general election in the United States. I'm in Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. So, today we're going to take a break from the horror that is the Trump presidency to talk about something that's important to nearly every American, and that's health insurance. Health insurance is one of the biggest scams you can ever run across. You're talking about these scams on the internet. This thing is an absolute scam. Most people don't understand it because they don't understand what health insurance actually is. But today I'm going to tell you, it's a pool. That's all it is. It's a pool. I know they try to make it seem complicated, but it's not. Just like when you were in college and you and your four friends, nobody had $200 for a TV, so you all chipped in $50 to buy this TV. That's what health insurance is. Health insurance companies don't do anything. I'm going to say that again because I know they spend a lot of money with people running through fields and, oh, I'm so healthy, and they don't do anything. Health insurance companies have nothing to do with your health. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. If you're a diabetic and you need, 1 cc of insulin every 8 hours or whatever it is, you still need that. It doesn't matter if you have Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Aetna, Health Net. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter if you don't take medication. It doesn't matter if you have no insurance. It doesn't matter if you're stealing the medication. You still need whatever it is you need. And no, I don't know if that's the proper dosage. Don't start writing me letters saying, oh, if you got that amount, you will be dead. I don't know. You know what I mean. Whatever the dosage is. So what is health insurance? It's simply how the doctor gets paid and how the prescription gets paid. That's it. Health insurance companies spend a lot of money making sure you think you need them. You don't. What we're doing actually with health insurance companies is we're paying a guy to pay a guy. In other words, my producer Jasmine here, if I owed her $20, would I pay my cousin Mark $30 and say, could you hand Jasmine this $20? Or would I just give Jasmine $20? It doesn't make any sense to do it any other way. The health insurance companies, here's what a health insurance company does if it operates properly. You send them your money. You and millions of people, they call them premiums because they want it to sound important. You send them your money, they hold it. That's it. I know they try to make it seem like it's complicated, but nobody can afford a $400,000 illness. So we all chip in. That's all they do. Now, don't get me wrong, they invest your money to try to make more money for themselves, but essentially, they hold it. And for that privilege, we pay them 30%. Now, why would you pay somebody 30% when the government can do the same thing for 3%? Because they don't have to give the CEO a $150 million buyout, golden parachute. They don't have to run $200 million commercials. You need a G13 level employee that can just process the paperwork. That's it. Why in the world would you pay more for the same process? The government can handle that. You get sick, you file a claim, the government person takes the claim and processes it and pays the doctor. That's it. Try to think of it this way. Think of it in any other aspect of life. If you needed a new roof, right? And a guy lived to the left of you worked, and a guy lived to the right, he worked for the same company for the same number of years. The guy that lives to the left of you says, I'll go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, and I'll get all the material, and I'll do it for the cost plus 30%. The guy on the other side says, I'll do it for cost plus 3%. Who are you going with? Basically, we're going with the more expensive option. This isn't that complicated. All we're really talking about, remember, if you're under 18, you have S-chip, if you can't afford insurance. If you're over 65, you have Medicare. So basically what we're really talking about here is people 18 to 64. Well, the government can do that. It's very simple. Open up Medicare for everybody. We can call it Medicare Part E, right? And then you set the prices in accordance to your age. So let's say 18 to 34-year-olds pay, say, $100 a month. 35 to 44-year-olds pay, say, $200 a month. 45 to 54-year-olds pay $300. 55 to 64 pay $400 a month. And then when you get to 65, you're covered by Medicare. It's not that complicated. Now, the numbers I just made up, you need a mathematician to figure out the exact numbers, but that's all you'd have to do. Same thing with Medicare reimbursements. For the younger group, Medicare plus 6. For the next group, Medicare plus 7, or whatever that you need to do to figure it out. So the Republicans are always talking about, well, Medicare is eating up all our funds. Whatever. Okay, so make the younger people pay for the old people too. Set the prices so that the older people are covered for free, but the younger people have to pay. It's that simple. Everybody's covered. Now, if you're 133% above the poverty line or less, you would get it for free. Everybody else you'd have to pay. If your employer wanted to pay for it for you, that's fine. They could do that, or they could just give you the money. But everybody would have to be covered. There'd be a 50% penalty on top of what you should have paid for every month you're not covered. So let's say you're on a $100 a month plan and you weren't covered for 6 months. So that's $600 plus the 50% penalty. So you would owe us $900. And we just take that out of your refund or whatever. We're not going to be jailing people, but that's it. Now everybody's covered. So why don't we have that? Well, there's a couple of things. One, doctors will say, well, my medical school expenses are out the door and I need to be able to charge this ridiculous amount of money. Okay, so we could help them. We could say, if you're part of this program for 10 years, we'll forgive 25% of your loan or something like that. Again, you need a mathematician for this part. But there are ways we can work around it. The problem is the lobby for the healthcare industry is strong and rich, and they have enough money to keep donating to these congressmen and these senators' campaigns with the threat of, if you vote against me, I'll donate this $10 million to your opponent. We have to get rid of that. If we ever want to be healthy as a country, we have to be in it for everybody, and that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night.